I can tell you, looking at the CIA out officially demonizing without showing the proof Trump of being influenced by Russians, that green lights them under COG to create a hit team to take him out. And I'm going to tell you right now, with all the newspapers calling for his death and the Secret Service not allowed to do anything, you better believe, of course they're looking at killing him. They kill foreign leaders all the time. I saw, he died. So I want to briefly talk about that with both of you and then come into the next segment. And I want to talk more about solutions too. But the answer is communicating directly with Trump via the media and privately as well, and just saying they're coming after you. My gut's never wrong, and they're never going to make deals. They're never going to back off. They want this country under their control. Please don't forget, listeners, we're trying to expand this operation, hire more reporters, and get more crew. I don't want to do that. It's my job. I have to do it because it's my duty. I mean, I work 7 days a week now, and I love it. I cannot stop thinking about work because it's the fight of our lives. It's history. All the products at Infowars.com, thousands of them, are right now free shipping and as much as 50% off on things like colloidal silver that is so important to stock up on, living defense and more. The economiccollapseblog.com, Michael Schneider, David Knight's riding shotgun with us into the next hour. Michael, thanks for letting us jump in and co-host with us. Other issues you want to address, other points? I mean, you obviously agree Trump's got to get on the offense. What else does he do?
Well, if I was in Donald Trump's position, I'll tell you exactly what I would do if I was Donald Trump. I would not appear in public until at least January 20th, Inauguration Day, because as you said, you know, him and potentially his family are potentially in danger physically. Now, the New World Order would prefer to do this politically or legally if they can block him from becoming president. But as I've always said, they'll move heaven and earth to try to prevent him from becoming president. Once he becomes president, of course, they'll try to do whatever they can to remove him. So Donald Trump needs to realize that he is in danger. This is a critical moment in American history, and the hopes and dreams of so many are centered on him, because it's not just the White House. As David Knight brought up earlier, you know, you've got the EPA, you've got the BATF, you've got all these agencies, and the New World Order advances their agenda.
And globalism is in trouble. Look at this. Look at the Italians last week voting to stop EU expansion. Beautiful things are happening. And what did the media say? They're Russian agents. Did you see the news where they're now, Merkel says Russians are why she's losing?
Oh, yeah, everything is Russia's fault all of a sudden. But really, it's the New World Order that's freaking out because Donald Trump, unlike other Republican presidents who come in and the game continues and the same people stay running the agencies and advancing the agenda.
No, he's putting new people in.
Yeah, he's going to clean house in all these agencies, but those are the instruments that they use to impose their agenda on all of us, because people need to realize it's government agencies that are extremely powerful.
Sure. Let me bring up one more point, and it goes to your expertise, economiccollapseblog.com. I want to ask David this when we come back. Obviously, Trump wants lower interest rates. I always said raise them moderately because I've talked to a lot of different economists. You want to be in between. But clearly, damned if we do, damned if we don't with QE Unlimited. They're talking about big rate increases now, admittedly to stall him and make it look like it's his fault. Do you think that'll work, or what do you think's happening there?
Oh, yeah. You know, the Federal Reserve is already saying, well, we've got to raise interest rates in December. We have no choice, while they've had it on hold all this time because they want to help Hillary get in. So they didn't raise interest rates throughout the entire year. Now they said we have to raise rates.
You never raise them in December. They always do it in January or February. That's unprecedented, right, David?
Oh, absolutely. And that's what they want to do. They want to slow down the economy just as they wanted to pump it up for Obama and Hillary, as you all know. And people said that from the very beginning about the Federal
Trump
Reserve.
knows that. He's battling to get us jobs.
Yeah, it's a political organization, and they feather their own nest, and then they reward their friends and punish their enemies by manipulating the economy. That's why it's bad, and it's exactly what they're going to do. Yeah.
This morning, one of my crew members, Pat Riley, was watching Vice News on HBO, or no, it was last night. He told me about this morning with his wife, and it was like a new Obama interview where he's talking about us. And he says, yeah, people really just stopped trusting mainstream altogether, so they went to anything that wasn't us. And I'm like, oh, so he didn't call us fake news. It was in a discussion of fake news. He was actually honest and meant, no, we just don't trust you. We don't like you. Folks, spread the word about Infowars. They hate us. You're having a big effect. I love you. I appreciate you. Infowars.com. We're not fighting to lose this, folks. We're fighting to win, and we can do it. Join or die. All right, Michael Schneider's our guest. Michael, we've been ranting here. You've got 5 minutes to finish up other points that you're focused on.
Yeah, Alex. Well, let's talk about the other article you mentioned earlier in the show, where a member of the parliament in Denmark, Ida Auken, basically a member of the elite. The elite are telling us exactly what they plan to do if we allow them to do it. Well, she wrote an article which appeared on the official website of the World Economic Forum, basically saying what life would be like. She envisions what life will be like in 2030, only 14 years from now. And in the article, she says, oh, I don't have any possessions. I don't own a car. I don't own a house. I don't own any appliances. I don't own any clothes. I don't have any possessions at all, but everything is provided for me by the central government. I live in a planned economy.
She doesn't have photos of her grandmother. They're on the cloud. They can be watched. She says her own mind is hooked into the matrix. She's controlled. It's so wonderful. In fact, since you mentioned this, let's have you back up, because this is an evergreen story, next week for a full hour on this, but keep going.
Yeah, and basically saying, oh, I don't have any possessions, I don't have any privacy, but in the article she says, oh, but I've never been happier. And she says, oh, in the future, the people aren't going to have to work. It'll all be done by robots and computers and artificial intelligence. And then if you want something, you just order it and it's delivered to you.
And scroll down. This woman looks like a total cult member. But understand, she's the upper class technocrat, so she'll be controlling you, so she's all for it.
It's nothing but socialism with a thin veneer of technology.
Scroll down. Let's show how crazy this woman looks. Please continue.
Yeah. And it's basically the equivalent of a member of our Congress saying this, So this is somebody that has real political power in Denmark, but she's saying that basically she envisions a world of planned cities where we're tightly in very tight communities where we all use public transportation.
And all she's saying is the public globalist plan. It's not like she's the progenitor.
Oh, yeah, she didn't dream this up, but this is what they want. And they believe that they can create kind of this socialist utopia where everything is pre-planned and where, when you graduate from high school or college, your job is assigned to you because everything is planned, everything is controlled. And it's a great green society.
And they push it as grassroots with the Zeitgeist movement, supported by the UN and the New York Times. And the head of that movement said that I would be put in a re-education camp.
Yeah, because those that don't agree, that try to rebel against the system, well, they're the problem. They need to be re-educated. They need to be controlled. They need to be put away, whatever, because they want this wonderful...
Well, she says we'll just be put into zones, which I told her by that movie, or that series of books that was turned into movies, with the whole Mockingjay and the rest of it, Hunger Games, is the real globalist plan. And she says we'll be wild, feral humans in her article.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they see us as people who actually want liberty and freedom as a lower class of humanity, but they're going to evolve and they're going to, have this wonderful socialist dream, and they're going to, and it feeds into transhumanism, humans being connected with technology and robots and computers and everything else, become a different class of human, more evolved into this wonderful new world order. And those that don't want to participate, well, they're going to be, put outside the city, put in zones, re-educated, whatever you want to say it. But she's just expressing what the global elite have wanted for decades, but she's saying, hey, we could have this by 2030 if the public will allow us to proceed toward this wonderful
incredible. And then they call us fake news when we do what the mainstream media won't do. We go to the World Economic Forum website, and it's a frickin' nightmare. You go on there, and it's like, we want $100 trillion in new taxes paid to private banks every decade. We want to run your life. Your kids don't belong to you. We need Al-Qaeda. That was one headline from the Foreign Affairs CFR. Al-Qaeda's good. We need them. What's crazy is they just act like we're idiots and aren't reading this. Michael Schneider, incredible job. EconomicCollapseBlog.com. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alex.
Isn't he honored? He made the Washington Post ban list of Ruski agents.
There you go.
Comrade. We'll be back. Stay with us. Wayne Madsen coming up. Look, I'm not going to sit here and say, see, I told you so, that communist Chinese-style net censorship was coming to the web, because it's already here. It's being announced. The way you keep the internet open and free is you get involved more than ever. Go to Infowars.com/app. A new battleship in the fight. Infowars Live, available right now. We're looking for a crew to man it. You going to sit down and play games and be a trendy? Or are you going to be part of history? Don't sit by and let the internet and free speech be stolen from you. Take action.